is Amanina binti Azmi. My magic number is #20A1089. So today I will present my finding on our group assignment. First, I'm going to present part A number 1. The data we use for our group assignment is from Appendix 1, which is labor force by age group in Negeri Sembilan between 1996 to 2000. In the next sections, I will show you the type of table that we use for our group assignment. As we all know, there are 3 types of table can use to describe the data, which is frequency distributions, cumulative frequency distributions, and relative frequency distributions. But in our group assignment, we only need to choose 2 types of table, which is frequency distributions and cumulative frequency distributions, as you can see in our slide.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Yurnaja binti Ramli. My metric number is H20A1688. Okay, here is I would like to present about the graphical method for my part, which is the second question. Okay, I am provide 2 graph, whereby the first one is histogram and the second one is a polygon. Histogram is a bar graph that represent the frequency distribution of a data set. Okay, there are important things in the histogram graph. The first one is horizontal scale, and the second one is vertical, and the third one is we need to consecutive about the bar, whereby they need to touch for each other. For my graph, I am using a midpoint as a horizontal scale to histogram, and like you can see, this is the result. For the next is I would like to explain about the frequency polygon. Okay, frequency polygon is a line that the line graph that emphasize the continuous change in frequencies. Frequency polygon also have 3 points we need to follow. The first one is about the horizontal scale. Horizontal scale for the frequency polygon, just put the point of mid a point data of value, and for the vertical scale also use the same data, which is the frequency class or class frequency. And for the third one is they use a plot point the representation about the midpoint and the frequency. Like you can see, that is the result of our frequency polygon graph. I'm continue with question number 3, whereby I need to find the value and explain. Okay, my part is I want to explain about the center of the tendency. Center of a tendency have 3 items, which is mean, median, and mode. Okay, the formula for the mean is x equal to fx divided to n. Okay, f is frequency, x is midpoint, and for the n is sample. The total for fx in my assignment is 1596.5 divided to 50, and the total is 31.93. So the mean for the labor force by each group is 31.93. Is different with mode. The important thing in the median is frequency and cumulative frequency. Other than that, in the median, they having a observation, which is n divided by 2. N is the total of frequency, and the 2 is we need to divide because we want to know about the observation. So the total for the median is 33.16. Part last is mode. Okay, mode using a different formula with median and mean. Like you can see, this is the formula. Okay, the important thing in the mode is class and frequency only. That is because they want to find the class-wide and also the difference between of frequency before the class. And in the mode, we must to determine the highest frequency in the modal class, and my group has find the highest frequency in the modal class, which is the part in 42.2 until 40.1, and the frequency is 13. So the result for the mode is 45.5.
Assalamualaikum and have a good day everyone. My name is Muhammad Amirul Harith bin Nawawi. My metric number is H20A1258, and today I will explain about my part from part A. And in this part there are two important points, which is the measure of variation and measure of position. So in measure of variation there are 3 subpoints. There is range, variance and standard deviation. So I will explain the measure of variation. A measure of variation in statistics are ways to describe the distribution or dispersion of your data. In other words, it shows how far apart data points are from each other. Statisticians use measure of variation to summarize their data. Next, I will explain to you about the meaning of range. The range function was used to find the difference between the maximum and minimum data values in the set. So I got the value is for the maximum data entry I got 68.1, and the minimum data entry I got 6.2. Therefore, labor force by age group in Negeri Sembilan between year 1996 until 2000 is about 61.9. I will explain to you about variance and standard deviation. So the standard deviation is the square root of the variance, which is the average squared deviation from the mean. Both metrics indicate distribution variability, although their units are different. The original values are expressed in the same unit as standard deviation. Now you can see the table for variance and standard deviation. There are 6 columns, which is the first column for class and f, x, x square, fx and fx square. So we got the data and then we classify into the position. So there are all the value that we got from the calculation. To measure the standard deviation, we have used the formula, which is S equal to square root 2 square. So the value that we got from the data is square root 253.02, and therefore the sample variance for the labor force by age group in Negeri Sembilan between year 1996 until 2000 is about 253.02, and the value of standard deviation is 15.09. So for the next part, I will explain about measure of position. So measure of position is the position of a single value when compared to other value in a sample of the data set is referred to as a measurement of position. Position data must be arranged from lowest to highest. The measurement is determined using 3 different measures of position, such as quartile, decile, and percentile. For the quartile, we have divided into a table, and there are 3 columns for quartile. The first column is for class, the second column is frequency, and the third column is cumulative frequency. And to measure this quartile, we have 2 steps. The first step is find the location of Q1 and Q3, and the second step is find the value of Q1 and Q3. So we got the value for Q1 is 12.5, and for the second value, which is 22.8. Next is about interquartile range. So to measure the interquartile range, we also use the formula, which is the formula is Q3 minus by Q1. So the value that we got from quartile range, which is for Q3, is 22.8, and for the Q1 is 18.0. So we have to minus for Q3 minus by Q1, and the last value that we got after we minus the value is 4.8.
I would like to explain about the shape of a data distribution. Okay, a shape of data distribution is they want to know about the shape and also for the data. So like you can see before, I have explained about the mean, median and mode. So for the mean, in the label force by age group is 31.93, and for the median is 33.16, and for the mode is 45.50, and so the keyword to the left.
My name is Zahaka Bezukifli and my metric number is H2OA1882. Today I'm going to talk about part B, question 1. Find set of data that have one independent variable and one dependent variable. We are using dataset from online database and it shows that we are using secondary data. The data was gathered by previous researcher and being reused to collect another purpose. The independent variable from this data is unit sold and the dependent variable from this data is price. Question 2. If the data consists of n greater than 100, then you may select at random n not greater than 100 but must be at least 30. For example, n equal to 35.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nuralizata binti Mahmud. My node matrix is H20A1554. Referring to the table data for x and y, f with epsilon for data y squared and x squared. For example, of the value of y is 3.67, squared equal 13.47. And this answer for x squared is 11,236. And to define the value of xy is y multiplied by x. To find the moment of Polar simplification of the percent product is to use the formula R equal to the sum of xy minus the sum of x multiplied by the sum of y divided by n and divided by the square root in parentheses sum x squared minus sum x squared divided by n multiplied by the sum of y squared to minus the sum of y and squared divided by n, and the answer is negative 928.31.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nakyuddin Musna bin Mariza. Number metric is H20B1303. In this presentation, I want to present about my part, which is part B, number 4. Develop the estimate regression equation, then interpret the regression equation. Okay, let's go for the first part, which is formula. VO equal to negative B1x equal to 3.67 minus in bracket negative 928.31 in bracket 106 equal to 3.67 minus in bracket negative 98400.86 equal to 98404.53. This only for formula. Okay, next is regression equation. Equal BO plus B1x equal to 98404.53 plus in bracket negative 928.31 It is because the slope is negative 9 to 8.31. It may be determined that IQ has negative 9 to 8.31 contribution to the unit soul. The basic unit soul is 98404.53.